Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy JGM Wrestling back out here with another wrestling reaction video. It's been a while, but in today's video, we're going to be reacting to WrestleLamia's 7 biggest lies Triple H has told us in WWE. Let's find out what those lies are, because I'm already thinking of one of them, because our boy, R-Truth, is back, and that was definitely not a work. Let's check it out.
Now, Hulk Hogan's infamous lies have been covered to death, but what about Triple H's? It seems that the cerebral assassin has also been a compulsive liar. As number one, he lied about Drew Gulaks WWE release. At WWE press conferences are really a weird mix of kayfabe and reality. When it comes to Triple H's appearances, they're usually mostly based in reality. At the post-2024 Backlash press conference, the game was asked about Drew Gulak. Gulak had just been let go by WWE for alleged bad behavior, and Ronda Rousey would even accuse Gulak of having inappropriate physical contact. And instead of simply confirming the news of Gulak's release and offering support to Rousey, Triple H decided to spin his answer, first by having it pop at wrestling media sources before claiming that Gulak wasn't outright released. If you're gonna cite news sources, pick good ones. That's where I would start. We release talent all the time. It's a part of what we do. You just can't hire people, bring them in, keep hiring more people, and then just keep bringing them in. An unfortunate part of the job is talent get released. Can I say that he was released? He was not released. His contract was just not renewed. And Triple H failed to realize that saying Gulak was released was not going to make the company look bad. Gulak's behavior backstage had been called out, not just for his supposed incident with Ronda Rousey, but for being described as a bully backstage. And WWE were literally doing an investigation into his antics. WWE were completely justified in cutting ties with the problematic wrestler, and it was such a weird defensive answer from the head of WWE Creative. Number 2, lying about not listening to fans. During the
I don't know about that one. I mean, that one was a while ago. I remember there was something going on with Drew Gulak, but I like that. Damn, I actually kind of forgot too. That's the funny thing. But man, it's the part of the business, bro. You get hired, you get released, and they hire more people. And then if you get good enough, they'll rehire you again. That's just the business. You can't be upset too much about it. Hopefully, for Karrion Kross, you know, the way he pushes him, I know his contract's coming up, so hopefully they don't make that mistake and letting a star go. Same thing with Miz. His contract is coming up too, if I'm not mistaken.
The road to WrestleMania 41, Triple H approached all of his media duties with a sense of bitterness and resentment towards the audience. The fans had been critical of his booking, and this had evidently taken an emotional effect on him. One of Triple H's more controversial comments during this time period related to fans on social media. The game, during an interview with Flagrant, would claim that the internet isn't real life, and the complaining on the internet doesn't reflect on the real audience. The internet is not real life. The bitching and complaining that's on there is not real life. You can read the internet and it will sound like this thing is dead. I'll use Cody as an example. Cody has already jumped the shark. He's dead as a babyface. Really? I'm in an arena with 10,000 people every night going apeshit for him. He's selling the most merchandise. Sure, whatever you want to say on the internet. The beautiful thing for our business, unlike a movie or TV show or even a book, we have a focus group every night. This was Triple H basically saying that WWE doesn't listen to the noise on the internet. However, that simply isn't true. It's been widely reported that Triple H is often seen scrolling on X to see what fans think of the product. In fact, there's been countless times of Triple H booking something to combat negativity online, and he's even taken direct ideas from fans on social media. Take for instance when fan art surfaced of the blue edition to the prior design of the Intercontinental title. The fan art went viral, and literally days after, the new version debuted on television. To say the voices of internet fans don't matter isn't...
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad they did that, because the Intercontinental Championship, bro, just it being bland was dumb. Like, you have to have the blue. They did it. It was fire. That, I could give them that one.
Insane comment. It's an utter lie. Additionally, in 2024, the fan outrage over Cody Rhodes losing his WrestleMania spot led to WWE changing their entire WrestleMania direction, and Triple H and others literally discussed this directly at the WrestleMania 40 documentary. Number 3, lying about pushing LA Knight. Now, LA Knight has managed to maintain his popularity for a number of years now, and heading into 2025's Money in the Bank ladder match, he was a firm favorite to win. This would be LA's 3rd consecutive time in the match, and due to WWE mostly following up on promises to the fans firmly expected him to win this year. But sadly, this wasn't the case, and WWE decided to have Seth Rollins win the briefcase for the 2nd time in his career. This led fans digging up an old clip of Triple H from 2 years ago at the same...
Bro, I get it. I get it, because you want to have Seth look like the most powerful dude right now. I understand that perspective. It could have been done a little differently. I mean, you could have just had him into that, you know, the thing that's going on for Night of Champions tournament and have him win. That'll be a start. But for LA Knight not getting that money in the briefcase, that kind of hurt, man, because he's been pretty good for those 3 years, bro. So I don't know. They need to push him, bro. I don't know what the hell they doing.
Event. At the 2023 Money in the Bank event from London, the game would state that good things come to those who wait when it comes to LA Knight. This is basically the game promising that LA would receive his major push sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, outside of some sporadic moments in the world title picture, LA has mostly been relegated to the mid-card, and it's evident that Triple H sees him at the level of a US champion. There have been rumors that the game isn't a massive fan of LA Knight, and whilst this hasn't been verified, it wouldn't come as too much of a surprise based on his current booking. Triple H has been keen to push wrestlers who have managed to get organically over with the crowd, but when it comes to LA Knight, he just outright refuses to give him a significant moment, and it's really not clear why. Number 4, lying about the Montreal Screw Job. The 1997 Montreal Screw Job was one of the most controversial and infamous real-life events in pro wrestling history. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, Bret Hart and the Hart family naturally wanted to know what names were in the know of what Vince McMahon had planned. Backstage after the 1997 Survivor Series, Hart's first wife, Julie Smadu, would confront Triple H, and the game would swear to God that he had nothing to do with the incident. Triple H would then directly promise to Hart's wife that he had nothing to do with what occurred, and he even had the nerve to patronize Hart's wife by saying, "I know you're upset." But footage of this was secretly filmed on the documentary Hitman Hart Wrestling with Shadows. It's pretty obvious that Triple H did know that he was being filmed at the time. Whilst there was common knowledge that Triple H was fully aware of what was going to go down, it wasn't until the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix debuted that he exposed himself to the world. There was a phone call that happened with Shawn, myself, and Vince. Vince said, "Look, Bret's not going to do it. He refuses to do it." I don't remember all the specifics, but I was one that was like, F that. If he won't do it for him. But Triple H didn't just lie for years. He now believes that he's in a comfortable enough position to take full credit as being the mastermind for the entire thing. Even though it was Jerry Briscoe who came up with the idea. Triple H may wonder why Bret Hart has a strong dislike towards him, but it's insanely obvious as to why. Just look at Bret's reaction to him at the Hall of Fame. Number 5, lying about wanting to...
Oh, that was kind of funny. Damn, yo, I mean, bro, you can't blame him, man. If it was me, you got a guy that don't want to give up the belt, and I had a prior accident before where they did the company dirty, we gonna have you give up the belt one way or another, and you're not gonna like it. So I don't blame him at all, bro. I would have kind of done the same thing, unfortunately, man.
To Evolution 2. The fans were delighted when it was formally announced that Evolution would be returning to July of 2025. The initial debut in 2018 was well received by fans, and fans had been pushing WWE to bring the event back for a long time. During the post-Money in the Bank press conference, the game would discuss why he's brought the event back, and he even stated that he wanted to do a sequel to the show following the initial success of Evolution 1. I wanted to do Evolution 2 since Evolution 1, probably even before we did it. I was trying to figure out how to do Evolution 2. For a lot of different reasons, the timing wasn't right. Now it is. I'm thrilled to be able to do it again. The truth is, as amazing as the women in our business were then, it's grown exponentially. The biggest trick we'll have is, how do we build that card out and have that many women and fit as many people into that card? Everyone is going to be a part of it, and we want to make sure everybody gets to do something. That will be the trickiest part. This sounded like a rational answer from Triple H, however fans were quick to call out the game for these comments. Back in 2021, Triple H discussed Evolution, and he had an extremely negative take on bringing the event back. Speaking on the NXT In Your House media call, he stated, "Haven't we already done them? It's a funny thing to me. So equality is equality. Equality is not, I want my own show. Equality is not, we have to have our own program. If I told you that I was making an all-men's program and I didn't want women on it, it would be criticized." I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I do think it's funny when people go, "I want the best in the world regardless of contractual status." I'm sorry, from a business person's standpoint, then why do we have a contractual status, right? It doesn't make sense to me. If you want to wrestle the best women in the world, come to the WWE. That's where they are. If you want to go elsewhere and say that you can, but it is what it is. Now, the game clearly didn't want to do Evolution 2 since the inaugural event, so it's unclear what exactly he was trying to achieve with these comments and not be called out for them. Number 6, lying about the Ultimate Warrior. In 2005, WWE would release a documentary focused on the Ultimate Warrior. This documentary basically acted as a hit piece on the Warrior, and it was the most one-sided account of the Warrior imaginable. It was there to destroy the Warrior. It was extremely controversial at the time, and even those fans and wrestlers who dislike Warrior claimed that the documentary was downright biased and unfair. One name who was interviewed for the documentary was Triple H, who discussed his match with the Warrior from WrestleMania 12. The game had literally nothing positive to say about working with the Warrior, and he would go as far as saying that he was the most unprofessional guy he's ever worked with, and he basically stated that the Warrior outright buried him. But then fast forward a decade later, and Triple H's stance on the Warrior and the match had greatly changed. In documentaries focused on the Warrior, Triple H was full of positivity, and in 2025, during an appearance on Jimmy Fallon, this is what Triple H had to say regarding the match. "This is my first WrestleMania that I would compete in, and for a lot of people, they think that this is almost an embarrassing moment in my career where I was basically squashed in a couple of minutes by the Ultimate Warrior. But for me, one, it was my first WrestleMania, and two, the Ultimate Warrior was one of the biggest stars ever in WWE. So when they came to me and said, 'You're gonna get to work with the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania,' I was just out of my mind excited." Now, the game would even take things further by, with a straight face.
Listen, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. You gotta give him credit because you grow up. You learn from the past, you feel me? So I guess Triple H kind of grew up and realized, like, bro, Ultimate Warrior was a big star at that time, and they had him partnered up with Triple H. So that's a good sign, you know? Although Triple H has his own personal opinions, you can't hate the man for that. That's a little different. I feel like that's just in time he evolved and he learned.
Calling it one of his greatest memories. That to me is one of my greatest memories. It's like going to the Super Bowl and you got to throw against Brady or something like that. It was just a great experience for me, and I enjoyed it immensely. A wrestler's changing their stance on matches isn't uncommon, however, to change one's opinion of an infamous match to this extent is absurd. And number 7, lying about R-Truth's release. And the news that WWE wouldn't be renewing R-Truth's WWE deal sent shockwaves throughout the wrestling world. Truth was one of the most popular WWE names of all time, not just with the fans, but with talent in the locker room. Truth was said to be friends with just about everyone, and even the top stars such as John Cena and Roman Reigns had a close personal bond with him. Truth's release resulted in a ton of justified anger, both from fans and talent, and it was reported that Truth was released due to financial reasons, but this didn't help deter the criticism. Truth would eventually be brought back at the 2025 Money in the Bank event, and it was widely reported that Truth was brought back due to fan pressure, as well as the entire realm of the locker room being disgruntled. PW Insider Elite even stated that WWE realized that they made a huge mistake. WWE made a mistake. They cut someone based on math and realized they had upset not just the audience, but more importantly, the entire realm of their locker room, many of whom privately made their feelings known as much as some did publicly. So the company course corrected. This doesn't mean every talent will get a reprieve whenever WWE cuts them, but Truth as a performer and locker room stalwart was a unique case, and the ripple effect of that unique case actually ended with a positive.
Thank God,
on the post Money in the Bank press conference, Triple H was asked directly about Truth being brought back, and he had the audacity to imply that his firing was one big work, even though Truth himself went to social media to say it's not a work. The anger
Yeah, that was funny. Bro, just take the L, Triple H. It's okay. You don't have to be the most perfect booker, but don't try to be, bro.
Felt by fans from this comment was palpable, as the game just couldn't resist trying to play the fans, instead of admitting that the company got it completely wrong. The game was called a lie by a majority of fans on social media, and Truth's own son would call out the game for spewing total nonsense. But there you have it, folks, the worst lies Triple H has ever told in WWE.
Man, look, I don't blame Triple H. He does have, his job is important, bro. He's trying to entertain all of us, but at the same time, you gotta, Triple H just gotta realize, bro, the fans just want to be heard a little bit. And we want to be surprised. So R-Truth really getting released was a big surprise, and that's a surprise that we don't want, because R-Truth is a legend, bro. We love R-Truth, So the fact that TKO and WWE and all that got him straight out, man, I'm just glad he's back, and he's now Ron Killings. This is gonna be a fun adventure. But I ain't gonna lie, man, Triple H need to calm down on these damn lies and just realize it's okay. You make mistakes, we all make mistakes, but we're still gonna follow along. Just make the show entertaining. That's all that it is, you feel me? Yo, appreciate y'all for watching. It's been a while. I'm back now. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't done so already, go to WrestleLamia's account. Go subscribe to them. Go give that video a like. And if you haven't done so already while you are here, please subscribe to your boy, because we on a road to 3K subscribers. Yes, sir. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.